Astro live where you can see them. A huge number of them in 4K, which, if you've got a big TV screen, 4K is a step change in your viewing experience. We're now delivering all of this through this new Ultra set-top box. So the Ultra set-top box is kind of groundbreaking, and maybe when you've been in the country you don't hear it yet. There aren't many places that are able to do cloud PVR recording, so that we're pulling everything out of the cloud. Yeah? There aren't many places that have the quality of content search and discovery and recommendation that this box has, to be honest. There aren't many places around the world that have, over the last few months, have allied that to a broadband solution, which is simplifying your bill, which is meaning that you can get great interactivity off this machine, and on the depressing days when the football is not on, you can still watch a huge library of content. So I want to talk a bit about that. Go downstairs. I'm really surprised when I walk around Malaysia that I don't see more people watching an Astro Go. Because the value of the product that we're now delivering with Astro Go is really step change. If you go around Germany and you look at Sky Go in Germany, yeah, the volume of people are in the coffee shops, in the malls, in the pubs, them and their guys gathered round watching something together. The social experience that we're able to provide is no longer just tied to the lounge. You can take this experience anywhere. And I think one of the messages that we're trying to get across more is the additional value that you get by basically having Astro in your pocket whenever and wherever you happen to be. It's not tied to a TV, which I think is a really important piece. So, 380 matches, best, biggest league in the world, fantastic drama to come, and a whole bunch of new stuff and brilliant services to watch it on. I'm going to pass to CK now to talk about some of the programming that we're going to be doing and some of the stuff that's around that. So.
Thanks, Ian. Besides just the Premier League being back, bowlers are football fans, and we almost died during the time when there was no football on air from April and May. But it's not only the Premier League that's back. We have other sports back as well. Syria back, Champions League back, NBA is back, Formula 1 has been, all the tennis and golf events are back. So, as part of the Astro Sports proposition, we have all the greatest sports available, and this will continue on throughout the next year and beyond. What I want to add, besides 380 matches in 4K, matches available on the go as well as on demand content, the pandemic has really forced us to advance our production and content creation to include much more digital initiatives. During the MCO, we managed to get interviews with players like Henderson from Liverpool and all that. And as you can see downstairs just now, we have easier access to the players where we can engage the players together with the football fans in Malaysia. We have Gary down there just now. And then we will also have Dimitri Berbatov coming up later, and later in the evening we have Nicholas Anyokan coming too. So we'll never have this kind of opportunity where we are able to get a lot of these top football pundits, ex-players, current players to engage with the Malaysian fans. And we also are coming out with a lot of supporting content around the fringes of the live content of Premier League as well as other sports as well. You get the Premier League Today, Premier League Review, the post-show, the pre-show, and you can see all this content on our on-demand service as well. And also please, you can also catch all this content on our Astro Go as well too. So I think this is a very exciting period for us, and we hope the new football season, the new Premier League season will bring a lot of excitement to the Malaysian sports fans. I think now we can open the floor for some questions.
Second part first. So the question was about the lack of fans in the stadiums. Humans adapt. So one of the things that I think is quite good is that people are able, the productions now we're dubbing over the actual sound of the crowd. I think the teams are getting better at that because sometimes the sync doesn't quite work. I mean, it's all a learning experience. But why is that? Why is that so good? The best match that I have watched actually during the period was a Liverpool-Man City match, which we actually watched on Teams in the UK, right? And we all had our Sky Go in the UK running, and we all watched it on Teams. I'm sure that kind of experience here, because the second best thing to having fans in the stadium that you can listen to is actually having the mates around. So one of the things that we call them kind of fireside moments, which are just the moments that your friends and your family are gathered around you. And as I said, what I'm trying to get across to more and more people is that you can do this on Astro Go like you can do it on the main set-top box in your living room. You can do those things. So I'm not here to talk numbers today. We are in a closed period, so I'm not allowed to talk any numbers. You will have heard various things that, as we navigate our way through the post-COVID world, we've got our fingers very firmly on that pulse. It's great that we're now able to start our installs again. We are fully back with contact centres, etc., etc. And we've got our entire sales machine working again. So to a large effect, we are back, like the Premier League is back. More on numbers, and we'll have to wait until the Q2 announcement.
Just another note on the situation with no fans. During the lockdown, when everything stopped, when it came back, there was so much pent-up demand for it. I didn't care whether there's any crowd in the stadium or not. And after that, we got used to it, and then here we are, end of season, a new season starting again.
Right, next.
We are on record as saying we're exploring various other ways to come to market with new digital offers. So that hasn't changed. Since my arrival, I've got the team working on a number of lines. There is nothing to announce to you yet. You'll be aware that we've done a deal and integration aggregation with HBO and IG already, which are going well for us. We'll be doing more in the digital space as we go through the course of the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months. I don't have an announcement for you today. I've got a huge number of ideas on the bench back in the lab. So that's the story short. On the content plate, we are going to focus on what we do well. So we're going to focus on a UK expression. We're going to focus on our knitting. And our knitting is some really great Malay drama and content and series. Our knitting is a really high quality sports offer that you cannot get anywhere else. A compelling offer that speaks to our Chinese vernacular and our Tamil vernacular, and selectively picking the best of the Hollywood crowd. So that doesn't change. Why doesn't that change? It doesn't change because it works. And if you go to any PTV company around the world, you'll find the same. I think we have historically done a great job in comedy, and we should continue to do that. But you'll see us doing more of what we know is good at and resonates with the population.
All right, next question.
Number of Premier League 4K matches that is available on our 4K channel. We also have one match per match week for La Liga, and then we have Formula One ongoing with 4K, and we're looking to include more events in 4K as we move along in the near future. Brilliant.
Can I add something on 4K? 4K live sports, the only way you can guarantee delivery is over satellite. Because the speed of movement of something like Formula One, even though other people might say they're delivering 4K through kind of the internet, they may well be delivering 4K as it leaves their machine. By the time it's got through all the vagaries of the internet, I can pretty much confirm it's not going to be 4K when it arrives on screen. One of the key differentiators that we have is as we drive into the 4K world, is the satellite is the absolute best place to guarantee that what we send to the box hits the box as sparkling 4K. You can't guarantee that through another machine.
That's great news.
huge challenge that not only faces Astro but all the pay TV broadcasters all around the world. I can't really announce what's going to happen yet, but we are working together with the Premier League to come out with the AntiFinancial Campaign. It's going to be launched sometime this weekend. But do look out for the press release. But we are working together with them. We are engaging the Premier League. The Premier League has set up an office in Singapore, and so we'll be engaging with them on a weekly basis. Before the MCO, they even come visit us, and we will see the regulators and CNC, Ministry of Domestic Trade as well. So it's an ongoing process, and we're working very closely together with them because it is a real problem for all pay TV broadcasters. But in any way, Astro is the best platform to watch and to experience all this content because there's no lag, there's no buffering, it's clear, it's in 4K, it's in HD. You don't have to worry and there's no hassle involved.
So if I can add to that, I know because they're my team. We are doing a huge number of takedowns of illegal sites and streams and things pretty much every single week. It's something of a whack-a-mole game against the Pirates. But you know, I'm new here, but piracy is not just an Astro issue. It's not just a TV industry in Malaysia issue. It's a global problem. And story short, the pirates are not paying tax, and they're not supporting the industries that are creating all the content. And the more that we can collectively, as nations, stop them from all this illegal practice, the better the nations will be, and that's regardless of which nation you happen to be in. Yeah. So I'm used to really strong cooperation with regulators in other places that I have worked to really get a grip around this. We have a team that works closely with people here in Malaysia to do exactly that. But this is not just an Astro problem, this is actually taking tax off all of us. And it's not good, guys. Not good.
Next.
We did, I don't have the exact number, we did a few calls because the players were not playing as well. So it was easier to get them. So we did multiple calls with them. But that was the only engagement that we can do with them because there's no games. And in terms of it being stipulated, yes, it's something new for the fans, like we're all living in a new norm. So they took it very well, and then hence we are still in semi-lockdown. We'll be seeing a lot of these initiatives going forward until we can travel and all that, we'll take things down, we can bring fans over the weekend. But we'll definitely continue with that. And like I said, during this period, we have easy access to get a lot of space.
I know you said you're in close period, but this kind of number, the fans who actually watch this kind of, can you share those kind of numbers?
We did one with Henderson of Liverpool. I think we got about between 150,000 to 200,000 views.
How does that compare with how many people actually watch the games?
That's our average Premier League team's rating. Of course, Man U Liverpool is way ahead.
And you mentioned that
I think the box and the cloud PVR and the things that have been delivered here are things that are still on the bench in other places. I think that the speed from idea to delivery, when these guys have a concept to get it actually onto the screen, is extremely quick. I'm very impressed with that. And the other thing that I see here is in the team there's a real desire to learn and a desire to try and do new things. Not all which always work, but I am a firm fan of try 10 things and 7 of them will work out and it'll be a fantastic day. So I've seen all that thing actually, which is all that type of activity, which is why 6 weeks in I am loving going to work. Just because of the spark in people's eyes to serve Malaysia is outstanding, really outstanding. Yeah, just the culture. Yeah. But I think generally across Malaysia, I would say, I'm just loving being here because compared to the rather compared to the Anglo-American Australian kind of culture that I'm kind of used to. Being here is just a different experience, and I'm finding you guys extremely polite, helpful, interested. It's not as much of a shout, which is nice for a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, one final question.
The stickiness, but now we can't hold big events anymore. You can't go on big pub crawls like you did with rugby and all this. So how has that changed in terms of like what kind of events are you going to hold now? More virtual ones, things that are dialing in? Are you going to sell Zoom calls with certain players, which is what a lot of people are doing?
Write that down.
What?
Write that down.
Now, what we're going to do is also we're coming up with the idea of actually, since we all can't go out, we'll have maybe Adam or Reed to come to your home to watch a match with one of the publics.
And speaking of, that's actually a show that I've been I continue to shoot during the lockdown. It's called Man on the Street, where we bring the legends, well not bring, but virtually speak to the legends along with the fans. So it's called Man on the Street, and it's already been going on right now, and it has proven to be quite a success. We've had former legends like Martin Keown on the show, and yeah, we managed to bridge that gap, I guess. For now, it will be all virtual.